Section 2. Black and White Mary, Color and Pain. The Black and White Mary thought experiment was devised by Frank Jackson in 1982. It was specifically devised to address the question of whether color qualia consists of anything beyond information and can be summarized as follows. Mary is a brilliant scientist who is, for whatever reasons, forced to investigate the world from a black and white room via a black and white television monitor. She specializes in the neurophysiology of color vision and acquires, for the purposes of the experiment, all the physical information there is to obtain about what goes on when we see colors. She discovers, for example, just which wavelength combinations from the sky stimulate the retina and exactly how this produces the uttering of the sentence, "The sky is blue." What will happen when Mary is released from her black and white room or is given a color television monitor? Will she learn anything or not? Dennett comments extensively on this thought experiment and believes that the answer to this question is no, she won't learn anything new. Dennett starts his argument by insisting that the crucial premise is that she has all the physical information. This, he says, is not readily imaginable, so people tend to imagine either that she knows lots and lots, or that she knows everything that modern science knows today about the neurophysiology of color vision. But as Dennett points out, what we know today is almost nothing. So if this were all she knew, it wouldn't be surprising that Mary should learn something new when she first saw color. Color, no surprise for Mary. According to Dennett, Mary knows in exquisite detail exactly what physical impression a yellow object or an object of any other color would make on her nervous system before she is shown any colored object. When she actually sees her first colored object, she says, "I already knew exactly what thoughts I would have. I was not in the slightest surprised by my experience of blue." Mary knows precisely which neurophysiological effects each particular color will have on her nervous system. The only task remaining for her is to figure out how to identify those neurophysiological effects from the inside. She notes, for example, some salient and specific reaction that her brain would have only to yellow or only for red. And we must remember that she doesn't just know the salient reactions. She knows them all. Consequently, when she finally does get to experience color, she learns nothing new about it because she already knew everything there is to know about color. Thinking/feeling, not the same. It seems to me, and I suspect most other people, that Dennett is making, perhaps willfully, a fundamental mistake about certain obvious facts about human experience. Namely, the difference between knowing something intellectually and having an immediate personal experience of it. I feel that Dennett is getting away with a lot in his analysis of this story, precisely because our knowledge of color and our qualic experience of color are hard to disentangle and are so easily confused. But what if we choose to reconsider this thought experiment, having substituted the experience of extreme pain instead of the experience of seeing colors? Changing the qualia. Let's rewrite the Mary thought experiment, substituting for the calm, neutral experience of seeing color, the extreme experience of receiving a severe electric shock. We could imagine a medical student researching every aspect of this event from a neurophysiological point of view. He or she may finally understand in exquisite detail all of the neural processes which a normal human being would experience during this event. But would this knowledge enable the student to feel the same pain as a person who is actually in the process of receiving a severe electric shock? Dennett might object that we don't as yet have anywhere near a complete knowledge of the neurological processes involved. But let's make this a thought experiment and imagine that at some point in the distant future, we do acquire a complete knowledge of this. My point is as follows. Would any amount of intellectual knowledge of these processes make the student howl in pain?